Right, things are moving on with the installation in the kitchen. I've partly boarded it, and I've got the two light switches are now no longer surface mounted but are actually flush in the wall. These are Legrand light switches, and I like Legrand, it's quite a good quality make. I've had to run new cables back to the fuse board because the other ones weren't long enough to get where I wanted them to go. And behind the plasterboard I've run them in what they call gain over here. It's basically just a ribbed flexible conduit. It's just so that if anything does go wrong, the cables are not going to be touching the metal insulation. Fitting the back box is quite easy. And I thought I'd show you how I do that. I've measured to the middle of the wall here, which is the centre line there, and I've then drawn a horizontal line from that. From the centre mark, I've then measured 35mm each side, because you want to drill two holes 70mm apart to fit the back box. This is one of the back boxes they have in France. Don't know if you can see that. It's this is a double one. It's got rubber in the holes to seal it. I'm pretty sure that's one you're meant to use on plasterboard, so I'm going to use it anyway. I just quite like the fact that it's going to be sealed. And what we have to do is drill two 38mm hole. Sorry, not 38, 68mm holes on these two marks, and then join the two holes up, and then the box will fit in. 68mm does sound an odd size. In the UK, I don't think I've ever seen a 68mm hole drill, but over in France they're absolutely everywhere. You can get them for masonry or for wood and plasterboard. This one is just a normal wood and plasterboard one, and all I'm going to do is just drill the two holes on the two marks. Now you can see this is where I've got the piece of plywood behind, which will give a bit more support to the sockets when it goes in. There we go, that's the first one. It's only 9mm plywood behind there, but that's plenty to give us some support. Just drill the second hole. As you can see, the two holes just touch each other. There we go, that's the second hole drilled. Now all I've got to do is just draw a line between the two and connect them up. Then cut out a piece between them. That's quite an easy task to do. If you've not got the plywood behind, you can just go ahead with a plasterboard saw. You can get keyhole saws for plasterboard and just cut that out. Because I've got the plywood behind and then the insulation, I'm going to use a multi-tool with a wood cutting blade in it. cut through the plywood behind. I guess I could use a jigsaw, but then I'm in danger of going too deep with the blade and hitting the wall and bending the blade, which I don't particularly want to do. So I'm going to use one of these. Like I say, this is a multi-tool. It has a serrated blade on the end. You can get these are actually quite a useful tool for lots of things. Like I was going to cut these out. Right, that's the plasterboard out of the way, and now it's just cutting through the two pieces of timber. I'm going to make short work of that, and then you should find the back box will fit snugly in there. All I need to do is do the 4 screws up, and that'll bring the claws in at the back, and that's the back box into the wall, and it's as easy and as quick as that. The reason I put plywood behind the sockets is because this socket in the bathroom, which I wasn't planning on having, so I didn't actually put any plywood behind. Once the electrician had finished, it didn't take very long until, as you can see, the plasterboard has broken around the socket, and the socket moves every time you plug in and out. I shall have to take this piece of plasterboard off, put a piece of plywood behind, and reinstall the socket. Do it how I do it, so I don't get this problem.